Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 3. Um, so things I did between episodes, didn't do a lot, of course, because I don't want to take everything away from the camera. But as discussed, I've just carved out this little extra bit of the mountain here. I've added some cobblestone stairs, those will be replaced. The cobblestone in general is going to be replaced with stone, as well as this dirt here. I moved the stuff from down here to up there. Hello, Mr. Griffin. And I added some barrels because the cobblestone and dirt was taking up quite a lot of room. But today I think what we're going to work on is Tinker's Construct. It's the, I think, quickest, easiest, most in-depth way for us to get better tools to start with. Which is something we desperately need, is better tools. And the way we do that is by collecting at first some gravel, sand and clay in order to make what the mod calls grout. We have a little bit of gravel, but we're going to need quite a bit more of that, and I think I've got some in here that needs to be dug out anyway, so I'm just going to go in here and start collecting gravel. We're basically going to speed our way through Tinker's Construct as quickly as we can to get ourselves to the best kind of tools that we can. There's a lot that you can do with Tinker's Construct in between the start and the end game for Tinker's Construct. But as it stands in 1.6.4, there's very little point in doing so. Hello, zombie. Yes, there's very little point in doing so since it's so quick and easy once you have a smeltery up and running, which we will discuss and build in this episode, I think. To get to the end game for it. It basically involves us, first of all, acquiring a diamond. Well, first building a makeshift smeltery, a quick smeltery. Then building a, then getting the items necessary in order to be able to shape weapons on the smeltery. Then acquiring a diamond in order to harvest obsidian. Then using harvested obsidian to make alumite, which is a basic material of the mod, and from alumite we go into the nether and we acquire two different materials, which the names escape me right now. I'm sure we'll figure that out. They are Tinker's Construct, Manulian and Ardite, and cobalt and Ardite is what we mine up, and those become Manulian as a alloy. Anyway, we need a little more gravel. I want to get about 4 stacks of each. I'm not going to do the math, but in order to make sure that we have something enough to make our smelteries and the grout that we need, I'm definitely going to get about 4 stacks of sand, 4 stacks of gravel, and 4 stacks of sand, gravel, and clay. That's the one we're missing. Which we're not going to find in here, but I'm just going to check around for a little more gravel, perhaps. I do need some more torches though. This will all have to be patched up once we dug it out. Oh, there's some gravel. And that's a minor elemental. Hello. Shouldn't take us all that long to get the materials we need for a smeltery, and so I think what I'll do is I'll just keep this all on camera, just because there's very little else to do in the meantime other than get gravel sanded clay. We're close enough to some water sources that clay shouldn't be a problem, as well as sand. I know that there's a beach very nearby, or at least there's not a lot that I would talk about. Usually I do work in silence, so all this is pretty new to me. Always trying to find something to say, always trying to find something to talk about. I am kind of a quieter person by nature, so just watching me work is going to have to be part of this series, I think, at least in the early, as I'm getting used to recording and getting used to doing all this. I'm always going to be searching for things to say, but it's all a learning process anyway, so I'm sure I'll figure it out in the end and make it more interesting for everyone to watch. There's that chicken. Much needed chicken. Nom nom nom. It's also turning nighttime, which is kind of bad. I'm very tempted to run back right now. And I think once I've finished this pit, I will. That is some serious poison. Wow. Okay, Minecraft, because that was a vanilla witch. I had no idea that poison potions lasted so long. That is nasty. And that was a spriggan. Okay. Okay, that's the first death. Hopefully we can get to our gravestone, collect our things, and run, because that spriggan should still be there. Which means we may have to punch him to death, which might take some time. Where are we? Yes, I see you. Spriggan fortunately aren't that bad. They are fast though, and as you saw, I didn't even see it with it right in front of me, because it blends into the trees that it's standing nearby. And I might die a second time. Hopefully not. Come on. Come on, you woody fiend. Yeah. Okay. Gravestone. Uh-oh. Now, I was chatting with Kahira on Twitter, and we both came to the realization that I think sync messes with gravestones, and I think we lost our gravestone, which means we lost everything that was in our inventory at the time. It's not so bad. Alright. We're gonna need all those tools again. So, shovels. At least one pickaxe for now. One sword. And an axe. Good thing I got that extra coal too. Torches. And now we desperately need food, which is going to be the tricky one, and that is a couple of doulahan. Excuse me, sir. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. We desperately need food so that we can get health. Okay. What I'll do is I'll cook up this raw stuff that I've got. I'll refill my hunger on rotten meat. Yuck. Disgusting. Gross. And coal. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. No, I do have a gravestone. That's good. May as well recheck where we were before then. Doulahan have a lot less health than Spriggans. That's fortunate. Yeah, that's the one thing about these is Gyres, that they don't have any sound effects. That makes things tricky as far as fighting them goes. Obviously. Because they can sneak up on you. They don't have walking sound effects. You know, creepers manage to sneak up on you and they have sound effects. They even have walking sound effects. But these ones definitely don't. So I'm just gonna cook up the rest of this meat. And then we'll head out, try and find some more sand again. But it's getting a bit more beachy this way, so should be getting it quicker. Do not be fooled, these flowers are not flowers. They are a grimoire entity. That's why they have shadows. You can tell because they have shadows underneath them. When you break them, they have a chance to drop a flower or spawn, I think it's called a mandragoria. Nasty little creatures that poison you. So don't go picking the blue flowers. Very dangerous. I swear this episode we'll get around to making a smeltery. What I might do actually is I might cut here and come back to you once I've collected all the goods. Because it might take some time. If anything eventful happens though, like this house up here, or this rather large gravestone. I'll be sure to let you know. Doesn't look like it wants to break. We'll come back to that some other time. I'll try and remember it's there. So yes, that's how you can immediately tell that it's actually an entity and not just like a block, like these mushrooms here, because it has a shadow underneath. They are tricksy. Where's the door to this thing? Might be goodies inside. Hello witch, don't mind if I take that, thanks. Okay, I'm going to cut here and I'll come back once I've got some stuff. As you can see, we have sand. So I'm just going to take off and find some clay now. See you soon. And now I have the clay. I got it from over here. Our base is down there. So I'm just going to head back to camp and then I'm going to show you how to make grout. Okay. So let me just put this dirt away. Get that cooking up. Yeah, I got a bit more clay than I needed because the final clay deposit that I found was actually quite huge, so it ended up contributing more than I actually needed. We don't need that, or that, or that, or that. Let's hope I don't regret saying any of this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so grout is very simple. just like that. And what was that? Next to sand, okay. So actually we're going to have quite a few because we get 2 stacks of grout. So we're actually going to have quite a few bricks. But I'm just going to clear these out. And we may as well cook all of the grout all at once because there's very little reason to keep actual grout around. As you'll see, if I do that, grout isn't used for anything other than making those seared bricks. We actually have the perfect amount of furnaces for this. And also, what am I doing? 64. There we go. 8, 8. And this will put us well on our way to getting actual actual smeltery built. And while that's cooking, sleep, because we don't want any nasties jumping on us in the middle of the night. Okay, so that's 4. And apparently, and this is exactly why. No, there was 4 there. Okay. Odd display error. And for the base we need about 9. So that's the thing. So you can see how quickly these seared bricks get used up. So I think what we'll do is we'll stick the smeltery in this back corner here. And I'm digging into the ground because the base needs to be there, and then the walls of the smeltery are on the same level as we're on now. But we'll start to make the important parts now. So if I just take all these bricks out, we want 1 smeltery brain, or it's called a smeltery controller now. We want 2 drains, 1 for a basin, and 1 for a table. And then we're going to need 2 faucets and a tank, which means we need glass. And that's exactly where we got a little bit extra. And we'll just quickly swap you out. Thank you for your contribution. But if we, while we're waiting, go off and start placing this brain, we'll put the tank there, we'll stick the drains up 1 level, I think, actually, so put the table here and the drain here. Here's the glass we need. Put the the grout back in for cooking. And then we just need more bricks for now. Nope. That was completely wrong. Okay, so instead, actually, I'm going to put the brain, controller I mean, over here, in the tank there. And the drains sit on top, and the faucet's attached to the drains. Then we need bricks here. And we don't have enough. Not yet, anyway. It's our seared tank. This is where we keep the lava that it runs on, which also means we need to go and make some other stuff for the purpose of lava collection. We have 16 more bricks, and our tank sits here, and see how that lit up? That means that the smeltery is now a considered working. And the higher up we make this, the more that this can take. So each of these is one thing that we want to smelt. And if I, right now we have 9, 18, so it's 9 per layer. So if I take this out, it'll make that layer invalid, and we should only have, we only have 18. So each layer up you get 9 more slots, and each of those slots can only take 1. You can't stick a stack in there, as you'll see when I put the only iron ore that I have. Ooh, do I want to put that in there? I don't think so, not just yet. What we actually want to do, missed a crucial step in all of this. I need to make some planks. Do we have any sticks left? No. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It'll do. We need to make these. And then each of these goes on top of a different kind of wood to make a different kind of table. We need 3 of these, and the third one is a crafting table and a stencil. These are blank patterns, you'll see what they do in a moment. And we're actually going to need a few more of those. There is actually one more kind of object you can make, and that's using a chest, which I think will do. It lets us store our stencils. Oh, that was silly of me. Okay. We need 8, and we need an actual crafting table to make a chest. Chest plus stencil is pattern chest. Okay. And then with these, we're going to say stencil table, pattern chest, part builder, tool station. Okay, so let's show you how some of this works. With each of these patterns, we can make a different kind of tool part, and we're basically going to skip over the use of these, except for this table. This remains useful until the end of days, but we want a tool rod pattern because that's used in many tools. We want a pickaxe head so we can make pickaxes, shovel so we can make shovels, axe so we can make axe, sword blade so we can make sword. We also want to pick a kind of guard. I personally am a fan of the handguard. This makes the attack oriented one. We also want a tool binding pattern. So we have everything we need to get started here. With these we can put them in the pattern chest, and now if we look in the part builder, our patterns are actually registered on the left because the pattern chest is there. And if I put some stone in here, I can now make a sword part, a axe part, a pickaxe part, and can I? Yes, sort of. So this brings us to our next part. Some of these tool parts only cost half a piece of material, which means that when we put this handguard next to this cobblestone, we also get a stone handguard and a stone shard, because the stone shard is 1/2 of one cobblestone, according to Tinker's construct. So when we take the handguard out, we can take the cobblestone out, can move that back in, and I know for a fact that a tool rod is also half. So we use the stone shard to create the tool rod. And a binding is the same way, so actually if we put this in here and the binding, we get that and another shard, but we're not going to ever use that shard, so it's unfortunately just going to be tossed out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. Shovel head. There we go. Now we have all the parts we're going to ever need, except for one. We're going to have to cook some copper. And waste a piece of iron. Now I'm not entirely sure whether this will actually work with copper, but we'll try it first anyway. And there's actually something else I need to make. I need 4 pieces of glass, which I'll go ahead and cook in one of these furnaces. And sleep. We have quite a few bricks now, which is really good. We'll start storing them in here. You need one more piece of coal. I can't shift the coal in because there's other recipes for coal. And one of those in particular I think is graphite, which is causing that. And just put those in there. So we nearly have that. Also going to want to cook up this copper. We are going to have to cook up iron after all, because we need a bucket. This is all in preparation for getting the lava that we're going to need. But that gives us a portable tank from thermal expansion. It means that we only need one bucket to collect a decent amount of lava. I'll show you that in a second. Oh, we're still going to need more. I'm actually going to need, do I have lead? Yes, I do have lead. So if we cook up 2 more pieces of copper and a piece of lead, we'll be able to create fluid ducts, and just for the interim we're going to be using this to make things easier for filling up the smeltery. I'll show you how we'll do that in a second. We're also going to need a lever. Which we will stick right there. Come back, get our lead, make our fluidax. We only need one of them, fortunately. A portable tank. Ah, we don't have a crescent hammer. So how do we make a crescent hammer? Crescent, not crescent. Crescent. We need tin and 3 iron. Okay, that's gonna take a bit. We'll just do this manually for now then. Actually no, we desperately need it. So where is... What a shame. Okay. First of all... Alright, I have absolutely no idea what happened there. It seems that the recording stopped just as I started typing into NEI. I made some fluidax, I made a portable tank, I made a crescent hammer. What I did with those is I set up this so that we can transport lava into the seared tank once we actually have lava. And then I was about to go off and hunt some lava. Then I noticed that the recording had mysteriously stopped. So I'm actually going to intentionally stop it now and go and find some lava because I have no idea where any is, and it may take some time. And then I will be back once I have found some. See you soon. I found it! It was quite a trip down here, but I have managed to find lava. And unfortunately I don't have an iron pickaxe to get any of the goodies that were on the way, but I did manage to get a little bit of iron. So simply with a tank, you right click your bucket to fill it, and you right click on the tank again to empty it. It's that simple. And soon, yeah, there we go. We now have the equivalent of 9 buckets. Ah well. Away with ye. Nope, nope, going to avoid him. Yep, definitely going to avoid him. Am I far enough away? Please be far enough away. Yes! Alright. He's seen me. Oh, this may be the end. Out, out, out. No, we're good. Okay. Oh. Alright. Yeah, I tend to go silent when things go badly. So tank. And the tank drains into the seed tank. Which means now we can start using this, and we have 27 iron on us, so the first thing to do is, in it goes. And all that iron now will be melted down and doubled. Actually, that's very bad. Let me take all of that iron back out. We have a couple more things that we need to do first. Alright. Excuse me, I had 27. Yeah. Yep. Okay. First things first, gotta make aluminium brass, which takes 2 copper to 1 aluminium. Nope. And I think it's 2 copper to 1 aluminium. Let's just check. Mighty smelting. Aluminium brass. 3 aluminium, 1 copper. So yes, they could have gone very badly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, we have 16 aluminium. So 4 copper, 5 copper, it should do it. As I said, I'm not amazing at math, so if that was terrible, get used to it. That glowstone that I keep picking up comes from wild caves, comes from glowing mushrooms underground. They're pretty rare, so that's why I'm only carrying around 1 or 2 here and there, but hello, you could have been sneaky. Yeah. So that's why I only carry around 1 or 2. How's this cooking up? There we are. So we got some molten aluminium, we've got 5 copper in there. And the first thing we want to do, actually, and while we have so much copper, is cook up some copper normally. And the reason for that is that we need what's called a cast. And we're going to need an ingot cast, and we're going to get a cast of each of these things, and I'll show you exactly how that works now. You place what you want to cast onto the table. It's a simple right click, and right click to take it off again, but you need to put that there, and then you pour the aluminium brass on top of it, and there we have a tool binding cast. And we need to do that for each of these, so that what this allows us to do is you can pour into the cast in order to get the metal version of those tool parts. And as you can probably suppose, that's why we need an ingot, because we need to make an ingot cast. Put the ingot on, pour the aluminium brass on top, and we have an ingot cast. So we have shovel, tool, binding, pick. How much do we have? 15, quite a lot. Okay. We're going to need another chest, because I am personally running out of a lot of room. And we also need to go cut down some trees. Chest can go here for now. Of course, all of this area of the base that we've got going at the moment is completely temporary. It's not going to be like that forever. Yes, we do have the pick head. I keep forgetting what we do and do not have. We need the sword, the hilt, and the axe head. And the hilt is actually probably the least important that we have at the moment, because usually what we do is we make the hilt of a weapon out of cactus. Reason for that is it comes with a material property called spiny, which means that as the weapon gets more damaged, it does more damage. So a good thing with weapons is to use cactus as its base, and then a cactus as its hilt space, this part, handguard, as its base, and that gives it the spiny property, and then to damage it, and that makes it do far more damage. But this is how you put a sword together, and I'm just going to use the sword parts of stone that we actually had. And then we have a stone longsword, stone bound. As it becomes more damaged, it does better. It is faster for digging things like stone and that, so not very good on a weapon. But yes, now we have a stone bound longsword. which I'm just going to throw away. So the next thing we want to do now is when we want to melt down our iron. And we don't have the perfect amount anymore, unfortunately. First we want to get this copper and this aluminium out, and I'll show you how you do that. So we have, this makes blocks, so this is pouring 9 of those aluminium ingots that are in the smeltery into this to make a block. So there was 12, take away 9, and you have 3 left. So if we look in here, we should have 3 aluminium brass sitting on the bottom, right? And that's when we take our ingot cast and we stick it on here and we pour into the ingot cast. And we pull out 3 more aluminium brass. Aluminium brass can be used for other things, mostly Tinker's Mech works, which I'm sure you'll see a little bit of me doing that in the future. Oh, apparently there was a little bit of aluminium left. And now we're pulling out the copper. So this is good. Now we have doubling. So the smeltery turns each ore block, and only ore blocks, that it melts into 2 ingots of, or 2 ingots worth of liquid that you then have to cast. So it is a kind of decent early game way of getting double your ores. So we're just going to put these away. And we're going to be a bit tricky and, oh, I need that, put those in there. We're going to empty this of sand. We're going to use the power of jabber barrels to unify that single piece of copper. And the sand goes back in. That's something very useful that jabber barrels have, and we're going to be making use of that in the future as well, when we have other sources of materials coming in. And once I make my first set of tools, I am going to end the episode there, because we should be well and truly over time by that. See, we have 54 iron now, which is fantastic. So we're going to need to create, how many? A sword, an axe. So we're going to need 4 tool rods, which is actually 2 ingots. And yeah, I'm just going to make them all out of iron. At this stage, it's kind of like, why not? We are only going to need 1 tool binding, and 1 hilt, there it is, which is 1 more ingot, so we've used 3 ingots so far. And then it's 1 ingot per head, so that's 7 ingots to make all those tools. Pretty good. And put that in there. Move all those up. Shovel head. Sword blade. Axe head. And then to make all of these tools, we come across to the tool station once again. First we want to make a pick. You can actually make everything using this, and I'll quickly show you how. Nope. Yeah. So each of these slots do actually correspond, and you can make it using just the normal interface, but for the sake of video I'm going to show you that if you click on each of these, it shows you specifically what slot means what. So pick into here, iron binding into there, tool rod into there. Iron pick. These are all very temporary tools, so I'm not going to give them very fancy names. Shovel. It's tool rod plus shovel head. Axe is a tool rod plus axe head. And they're all getting called iron pick. Why not? That's accidental. I'm just going to run with it. And iron pick the longsword. Let's see if any funky things come out of me doing that. And while we're at that, actually, 1, 2, 3, and we need more wood. Ah, this handy fallen log. Something useful from extra utilities. Oops. 8, thank you very much. Okay. Chest. Cobblestone. Smooth stone. Trash can. Trash can. Stone sword. Iron pickaxe. Stone sword. Alright. So now, the great thing about these tools is they will never break. As you can see, they do actually have durability, but once that durability runs out, the tool simply will not function until you repair it. And repairing it doesn't cost experience like it does in vanilla Minecraft. You simply put it in the tool station, and I'll waste a piece of iron while I'm at it just to show you. I already have the ingot cast on me. If I make an iron ingot and I bring it across to the tool station, take the damaged tool and the material that the head is made from. Okay, apparently it's not damaged enough, but normally it would let you then take the tool out repaired. As long as you are the tool head, so that's the axe head, the shovel head, the pick head, or the sword blade, as long as the material that you're trying to repair it with is the same as the head is made of, you can repair the tool. Okay, so that's all the tools that we're going to be using in the future. Just for now, the first thing we're going to try and actually do is we're going to try and find a diamond, because we apply the diamond to this pickaxe and that allows us to get obsidian. But I'm going to end the episode here and we can hunt for a diamond next episode. So thank you all for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.